What's up guys, it's Bye here. Today is a follow-up video with the heat-up discussions that I had yesterday on my live stream regarding Death Troop and people will to zero themselves for kingdoms. So before continue watching these videos, you need to know that all of my videos are meant for free-to-play and low spender players. I am just sharing my opinion as a very low spender. If you are like a big spender, you might have a different opinions than I do, right? So also, some people think that I am a very controversial YouTuber because I always say things or have opinions that different with a lot of people on the internet. Uh, I don't think I am controversial, right? I'm just simply speaking the truth that nobody dare to talk about. Other than that, I am just another pretty typical Asian gamer. Right? I work hard and I try hard to be some of the best players in the game with a very minimal amount of spending. So first, let me show you guys a message that I wanted to send to everybody 1.5 years ago when I just recently started making videos. This video was made 2 months after I zero myself in Kingsland. So here you can see the date here, April 20th, 2020 is when this video was made, and it like about 2 months after my KvK was done. All right, so let's go into to this video here and see what message I want to send to you guys. What's up guys? Welcome to another Rise of Kingdom video. Today I want to share with you guys some of the mistakes I personally made in my last KvK and what I would have done differently. As a player, we all make mistakes. Good players are the one who acknowledge their mistake and learn from them. Smart players are the one who do their research of what mistake other people make and avoid making them. So let's go right into it. What did I mess up? One, I zero myself in Kingland. Zero myself, how is that even possible? Well, I join every rally and defend every flag for 16 hours straight. I went from 67 million power to 52 million power. That is a lot of power loss for like a very low spender player like myself. So yeah, like it was just in the heat of the battle. Like I would just keep sending troops to every rally, every flags. I went from 4 million troops to 500k. 300k of those remaining troops was sieges. It was very tough for me to fight anyone after Kinglands. I had to slowly rebuild up all my troops. Did I regret giving everything for my kingdoms? Not really, but I could have be smarter because letting troop dice isn't the only way to help my kingdom. What I could have done differently is to make sure that I maintain enough troops for 5 effective marches. I could have helped my kingdom much better by providing field support with my 5 solid marches. I probably have one of the best 5 marches in my kingdom. Well, I have a lot of legendary commanders. I could have been very solid on the open fields. Two, using only one troop type for both rally and flag defense. Our kingdom have a lot of infantry focused player. We have a lot of good infantry legendary commander pairing for both flag defense and rallies. We also didn't have any Attila, Takeda rally leader back then. I can show you guys some of our report, and so you know what I mean. We'll report, okay, March 11th. So here you can see the list of like very long report, garrison and rally reports that I've joined in that KvK, and that was how I zero myself. But there is only a handful of reports that I say, but I've joined a lot of rallies and I defend every flags. So let's keep watching here. So here we have an infantry rally on our flag using Alex YSG. Here we have um, a flag defense using Charmer Talon YSG, also using infantry. Here we also have another flag defense using Charmer Talon YSG, also using infantry. What do we have here? Um, we have like a flag rally here using Alex and YSG. Here we have another flag defense using Charmer Talon Constantine, also using a lot of infantry. Um, Here we have another Alex and YSG rally using infantry also. Another infantry rally using Alex YSG. Another rally using infantry. Again, another rally using infantry. Alex and YSG again. Now we have Alec and Sanzu doing a rally again using infantry. What do we have here? Another infantry rally. Like you can see, like we were using infantry for pretty much everything. Like we were getting such a good trade-off from rallying flags using infantry that we wasn't thinking that we would run out of infantry. After 16 hours of keep using infantry for almost everything, we realized that we were running very low on infantry, and we didn't have enough infantry to defend flags. So like if I could go back and change it, I would make sure that we use infantry to defend flags mostly, and use archer and cavalry for rallying. It will give us much more even troop type losses, and we could have defended much more effectively. Okay, so next one is I'm gonna show you guys in which KvK that I zero myself. Okay. Um. Off. Number 4, holding on to flags even though we don't have enough player. We were bottom kingdom. We ranked 8. We were doing 1 versus 3 kingdom. They were trying to lock us up. I can show you here what it looked like. So we at bottom right corner, we yellow. Alright, so here is the old map that I keep. Good thing that I found it. I was in the same KvK with the mighty 1307. And I had to zero myself because they were too far away from us. They couldn't come. They couldn't come rescue me in town. Right? By the time they got to us, I already zero myself. So you can see like one ABG is at the top corner, right? Top left corner, one ABG, and we were also in the same KvK with 1304 as well. So 1307, 1304, 1291, 1285 was going against 1287, 1282, I forgot what Boo farm, and 1288. They was crazy, they was strong, right? And we was getting ganged up. So let's keep on listening here. So we had to fight our neighbor, which is blue. Shortly after Kingland opened, purple also come down to our way. And then shortly after that, we had green locked up one of our ally, and they also came first. So we were doing 1 versus 3 as a bottom kingdom. Like it was very tough to fight in the new map if you're one of the bottom kingdom. Other kingdom will most likely try to cut you off first. Like I didn't want to let my allies down. I didn't want to be locked up and unable to help our ally. So we keep holding on to some flags even during our inactive time. Like it was very costly. Like we lost a lot of troops. So yes, so now you know that I wasn't lying, right? I wasn't lying when I say that I did zero myself once, right? So this is the proof, right? This video was made like a year and a half ago, right? I was just trying to giving people some advice here, and like going over some of my mistakes that I made doing that KvK, right? Okay, so put that out of the way. So The next thing you're going to be hearing is coming from someone who have already zero himself once for his kingdom. Okay. Um. So the advice I gave you guys in this video was that like I made a mistake for zeroing myself, right? And it's been like a year and a half ago. So have I changed my mind since then? Right? No, right? I am still stand by what I said a year and a half ago. It was a big mistake for any low spender or free to play player to zero themselves. I am still stand by it. And like a lot of things, right? A lot of things can easily be said, but not many players can actually do it. Like zeroing yourself for KvK. Like it's so easy just to say things like that, but when tough time comes, those players probably one of the first few players that have some life situation and can't even show up for KvK, right? So I am going to have to apologize for to 1916 here to make them as one of my next example, right? So in recent KvK, like many people have very high expectation for 1916, right? Like more than like 3 or 4 players had told me that 1916 had a crazy amount of fighters, like 1,000 plus active fighter, and they are willing to zero themselves in KvK. See what happened when things get tough when they fought against 1846. Like people can just say anything when they win. Like they're like, oh, we're the best kingdom. But like once things like start to like go south, those people are nowhere to be found, right? So that is something you need to keep in mind, right? Again, right, I really want to apologize to 1916 to make them an example here. It could be their strategy, I don't know, but I do want to bring it up that like people can talk, right? People can talk, but like when it comes to like action, right? They just show nothing, right? So that is the biggest problem with the Rise of Kingdom community. So let's back to the will to zero oneself for your kingdom again, right? Like when was the last time you saw a kingdom or an alliance zero themselves for KvK? You don't, right? You saw some players zero themselves. People say Death Squad zero himself. Nobody says that the entire squad alliance or like 1401 zero themselves in the last KvK, right? People say Bunny zero himself. Nobody says like the entire TR alliance zero themselves or the entire 1254 kingdom zero themselves, right? Only a handful of people in your kingdom are willing to zero themselves. So like don't get me wrong, right? Their member from like 1401 and 1254, they drop a lot of power, right? I have a huge respect to them. But the truth is, not many players in their alliance zero themselves, right? Feel free to prove me wrong. Like I have a personally checked the alliance list when they pulling back, right? I want to see okay how many of their people that actually zero themselves, because there was a lot of talk about the alliances. So I actually personally went and checked. So like they are a very strong fighting kingdom, and I respect them and like similar kingdoms, like similar fighting kingdoms, right? But like don't tell me that those kingdoms zero themselves for KvK, because it did not happen. Like they drop a lot of power, and yes, some of their players zero themselves, yes. But the entire kingdom zero themselves, it is a big no, right? It's a big no for me. A top 54 again, right? Strong fighting kingdoms. If they are not afraid of death troop, if everyone in their kingdom are willing to zero themselves, like why didn't they go for like a weaker allies in the current KvK? Like because after a rough KvK, you need to recover, and that is it, right? Sometimes you can sacrifice a lot of troops, and after that you need to recover, right? You either had to go for an easy KvK, or you have to cut down on your death troop by reinforcing less. And nobody can keep like killing million of troops every KvK. And that is just an example right there for you guys, right? And like if you watch still here and you still think that there is like a kingdoms out there that would always zero themselves for KvK, well, sorry, but you're delusional, right? I think somebody gotta tell you that, right? You are 100% delusional that you think that there is gonna be a kingdom that everybody in that kingdom's gonna zero themselves. Not even one alliance can do that. Like that is like if you can get one alliance to zero themselves, I'm gonna quit the game right away. right? Now let's talk about KvK contribution, right? Death tube is not the only measurement for KvK contribution. Time, effort, commitment matter a lot more. Like for example, right, I am a small player, right? I don't have a shit tons of troops that I can kill every KvK. So what do? Right? I put in more time and effort. I farm a lot more resources for KvK. Right? I train more troops on my farmer cows so that I can use my farmer cows to help it reinforcing structure and rally. I am always on when it matters. If Kingsland opening at 3 a.m., you know I'll be there, right? So that tube isn't the only way for a player to contribute to their kingdom. Like I am not telling you to just do open field only, right? Everyone in the kingdom need to share the burden when it's come to KvK, and that tube included, right? Nobody want to lose tube, but you gotta understand that when you're in a kingdom, you gotta share that responsibility. You gotta share that burden with everybody. So you gotta have like a set there, or you gotta have like a set there, a limit there. Like, hey, okay, every KvK, I am gonna contribute 1,000,000 troops. And yo, like as long as you have that setup, like that amount of like that troop you are willing to sacrifice for your kingdom, like I am totally okay with you, right? Like I do not need anybody that are going to zero themselves in my kingdom, right? I need everybody in my kingdom to contribute, right? I don't want 1 or 2 players going to zero themselves, right? Like that squad zero himself. Did they win KvK? No, right? Bunny zero himself in KvK. Did they win KvK? No, right? But they can be like a big inspiration for other players to help reinforcing more structure, fighting more, right? They are a big inspiration for a lot of players. Don't get me wrong, but they did not win KvK. They won the people hearts. Is all I had to say. But they did not win KvK. That is the point I'm trying to make, right? When it comes to the time when you had to zero yourself, most of the time you're gonna lose anyway. That is what it is, right? I've seen so many KvK already, right? It's not like I'm just starting playing the game like a couple months ago. I'm talking shit here, right? I've been playing this game for almost 3 years. I've seen a lot of things happening in Rise of Kingdom. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys right now. That is what I'm trying to share my experience, my opinions with you guys. So if right, some of you guys might think that, oh, you like ashamed for like my kingdom. So I am currently in 1860, and people think that I am ashamed for 1860 because I don't contribute enough with like death troops. Even though I always try to like have a decent amount of death troop every KvK. Right, that is how I play. So I'm in 1860 right now. Right, if one day for whatever reason 1860 leadership telling me that my contribution for the kingdom is not good enough, and they need me to zero myself for the kingdoms, like I'll be more than happy to leave and let someone else better to come in to replace me, right? If that would happen, right? If they don't think that I contribute enough for the kingdom, I'll be happy to leave, right? And if they kind of disagree with me here, saying like people should not be zeroing themselves for KvK, like I'll be happy to leave as well, right? Like I don't care, right? I am just speaking the truth here. And another thing you need to know is that like people in Rise of Kingdom are not stupid, right? They don't have to listen to my advice to know that, right? A lot of people already been doing it. Like it's been to so many KvK, right? How often you see somebody zero like him or herself in KvK? Like so far, right? I've only seen like a handful of people that actually zero themselves in KvK. Like other than that, it's just like all talk, right? All talk on the internet. Like, hey, I'm the best fire. I'm the biggest fire of all, right? Even freaking Baber, 1 billion guy, like 1 billion powers. Like ask him how many death troop like he willing to sacrifice every KvK. Right? Everybody has a fear of death troop. You gotta admit it, right? There is no shame of admitting that you afraid of death troop. But you also have to know that, hey, you're not the only one afraid of having death troops. So you gotta be willing to share that burden with everybody. And that is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, guys, I just want to make this video to follow up with the discussion yesterday. Right? Yesterday I was a little bit busy doing the live stream. Right? I wasn't able to put my thought together. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Thanks for watching the video, guys.